In this video, I want to ask the question, does vernacular change the science and the purpose of what information the coach is sharing with you? In today's golf world, we have a lot of different languages, vernacular, let's say vernacular, descriptions. But is it any different than things in the past? Like when James Black said, you have to have really great footwork. And he said you wouldn't just jump in a car and drive it. You have to let that car warm up. You gotta, really get that car warm before you take it off. And he would say that's how the golf swing works. Is that any different than a trigger move? Starting the golf swing with a trigger move? Is great footwork any different than some camps are using glide and spin? Some camps are using shift and turn. The vernacular is different, the description is different, but is the end result different? Something to think about, right? I would like to see some replies on this one right here, because I think about this. I've taken some certifications and I listen to what the biomechanics is talking about and whatnot, and the description and what they're saying. And it all goes back to guys like Jimmy Woods and James Black, the things they taught us coming up. You got to start the engine. That's a trigger move. You got to get you got to get your weight moving, your pressure moving, right? We call it pressure now. Great footwork, right? Is there a difference? Does it make a difference? That's the main thing. Does it make a difference if somebody say you need to improve your footwork and you need to get that car warmed up before you daggone drive it, versus saying you need to have a trigger motion, or you need to shift and turn, or glide and spin? What say you? I'm interested in this one. That was a beautiful ball, but that was just getting the engine going before you jump in it, and that was really good footwork for my skill level. But is that a trigger motion? Is that shift and turn? Is that glide and spin? What say you? Yeah, so I had 158 to the center of the green, and I'm playing the KZG Zoe blades today. Very, very, traditional lofted clubs. So that's a 7-iron for me with today's weather. It's nice today. It's probably about 65 degrees. Yeah, but that's just a good question that I ponder, and I think it's a good question for each individual golf instructor to be able to reach the client that they're trying to understand. Here go the code, the Zoe blades right here. Ooh-wee. Beautiful club, right? Beautiful club. So, like I said, I have the certifications and I'm always seeking knowledge, like my father said, from the cradle to the grave. So, I'm always looking for more knowledge. But on the lesson tee, I don't use, the vernacular that I would come out of a Dr. Kwan certification with everybody I deal with, So it's very relevant. Here go the pitch mark right here for the ball. And the ball rolled out right here. And the pin's right there. So that's a nice little force carry shot, folks. But it's good for a coach to have this knowledge, because it opens up more avenues for revenue, just to be honest. But you still have to know who you have on the lesson tee, who's standing right there in front of you, So I use a lot of the old school James Black vernacular when I teach, depending on who's in front of me. Or I may use some Dr. Kwan, some Sasha McKenzie, some Mike Duffy language, depending on who's in front of me. At the end of the day, it all comes back to who is standing in front of you and what do they need to accomplish their goals. Keep grinding. Peace.